Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jacob Letman. Thanks for being here. Here's what we're doing. I'm gonna make a video series. I'm gonna start talking, do daily updates that refer to stimulus updates, unemployment updates, and political updates in general, just so that I can keep people updated and informed on the important things that are going on each day in our country. I find that it's extremely important right now. There's a lot of things that are at stake that will directly impact so many of us in different ways, and so many of us have already been impacted by the sickness that has swept across our nation and the world. And there's just a lot of people in weird circumstances. I myself am one of those, and we'll get more into that, I'm sure, as this video series unfolds down the line. So anyway, for now, what I want to talk about is an update on stimulus and what's going on and what's not going on with it. As many of you probably know, President Trump was recently in the hospital with COVID. Can't actually say that on here. That's another story. Anyway, while he was there, he tweeted out that he was instructing Republicans to quit negotiations with Democrats in regards to coming up with a second stimulus bill. Now, just to give you guys a little recap or a little brief overview of how a bill becomes law, how talks of a second stimulus check actually gets into your bank account. Here's the process. So you have a bill that is produced, and it goes first to the House of Representatives, where it is voted on. Now, currently, the House of Representatives is a Democratic majority, all right? And then the Senate is a Republican majority, and then we have President Trump, who is a Republican president, right? So the way it works, again, bill is drafted. And so in this instance, we'll talk about a stimulus bill, right? So we had a stimulus bill back in March that was passed into law, which is how we got that first round of stimulus checks. That is how unemployment got the additional $600 federally. That's how the PPP loans and the EIDL loans were expanded for small businesses. All of those fall under that original stimulus bill that was eventually signed into law back in March. So again, the process is it goes to the House, it's voted on. If it's passed, it then goes to the Senate. If it is passed, so if it gets a majority vote, right, that's how it passes. So then if it passes the Senate, then it goes to President Trump's desk, where if he signs it, it becomes a law. So that's essentially how a bill becomes a law. And so that is the process that happened for the stimulus bill that became a law back in March. And now what's been going on, as a lot of you probably know, you definitely know if you're on unemployment, is that there have been negotiations and essentially a stalemate since since end of July. And this is how, right? So you have Democrats and Republicans that are negotiating on both sides to try and come up with a compromise before they draft a bill, before they spend the time and energy drafting that bill, send it to the House, just so they kind of get like an idea of, will this pass or will it not pass, right? Because if you can get bipartisan agreement, which means agreement from both Democrats and Republicans at the beginning, then it's most likely going to pass through into law. So what's happened is this, right? Speaking about unemployment, which is important to me because I've been on it since the end of March. And basically unemployment, the additional federal $600 ran out at the end of July. And so there's been no federal stipend, except then there was, because Trump reallocated, which was actually kind of nifty. He reallocated funds from the original stimulus bill to unemployment, which gave an additional $300 per person federally for 6 weeks. So that ran out, and that's been over a month now. So I myself here in Arizona have been receiving only $117 a week from unemployment. And I'm kind of in a weird place with how I'm negotiating this because I'm also an actor. I teach golf, and I help run charity golf events. And I drive rideshare, so I've got a hodgepodge of things going on, right? Well, where I taught golf, I can't teach golf right now. Where the golf tournaments that I was working, I finally had my first one since March, and acting jobs, I've had 2 since the end of March. So things are not doing so well, and then rideshare has also been slow, hit or miss. There's some other things going on with that as well. And I was in an accident, so I didn't even have a vehicle to drive rideshare for a while. So anyway, unemployment's something important to me. So, getting back to the story of what's going on. Republicans, Democrats have been at an impasse trying to negotiate a new stimulus bill because that stimulus bill incorporates stimulus checks, right? The $1,200 checks that went out. It includes unemployment. It includes the small business loans. It includes helping out schools, helping out the airlines, helping out anything and everything that would essentially get help from a stimulus bill. It's all wrapped into one. So there is a lot to negotiate. Now, so what else has happened? The Democrats came forward with a bill that was, it was $3 trillion. And again, the Democrats have the majority in the House of Representatives, which is where the bill goes to first. So they passed that. Woohoo! And they were, woo! But then it went to the Senate, which is Republican majority, and that got voted down because Republican side says $3 trillion is too much money. We don't want to spend that much money. There are there are documented Republican senators and Congress men and women who have said we don't want any additional stimulus money going out. That means no more stimulus checks, no more help for small businesses, no more unemployment federal stipend. So they've gone on record saying that. And fiscally, Republicans are more conservative. That's just how it goes. Now, that aside, we're still in a bad situation economically speaking. And so all the data shows that the country needs help financially to get back on track because it's not your fault that we had to lock down due to that sickness. It's not my fault, right? It's none of our faults. People that are on unemployment, it's not your fault. So anyway, I digress. Let's get back to it. So where are we at today, you ask? Finally, I'm getting to it, right? I just had to preface it all so that you guys kind of know what's going on. So as of an hour ago, news came out, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, so again, Republicans have the majority of senators in the Senate, so they have the majority there, and Mitch McConnell, he is kind of the voice for the Republican side. He just recently said, I just saw it tonight, that come Monday, October 19th, when Congress goes back into session, they will have a vote on a on a Republican bill that is going to be smaller and more targeted to essentially what the Republicans say that is needed for, and it'll be most likely less than $1 trillion. And as of now, it said it would not include more money, more stimulus check money, which President Trump is not on board with. He actually really is for another round of stimulus checks. They do have his name on it, and he does want that. Just saying. that was said. President did say that. So, again, Monday they'll go back and they're going to have a vote. He's going to call to a vote on a new stimulus check or package, excuse me, that as of now would not have a stimulus check included in it, but targeted to where the Republicans think that federal money needs to go to help boost the economy. And it is most likely going to be voted down by the House, which again is Democratic led, because the Democrats are being led in negotiations by Nancy Pelosi, who I personally think is being way too hard-headed in negotiations. She's not conceding very much. And really, this is just a political battle back and forth, and it's really kind of annoying. And why is it annoying? Because I need help financially. You probably need help financially. And the politicians aren't getting it done. And what's making it worse is that the election is right around the corner. And again, President Trump said he did not want Republicans negotiating in stimulus bill talks until after the election. Now, here is the big issue that I can foresee with that. If President Trump is not reelected come November, he has zero incentive to get a stimulus bill done, because he would be out of office then by the end of January, and Republicans again are fiscally conservative, and he would just have no incentive in which to get that done. And what would that mean? Well, it would mean that everybody that's been on unemployment, their 39 weeks of unemployment would have run out by the time that Joe Biden would become president. And so I don't actually know what would happen. So the people that need extra help, oh boy, economically speaking, we could be in a really bad situation by the time February comes. So, and that's not me saying that. That's a lot of economic experts saying if some sort of stimulus bill is not passed, then things could be in a really bad situation. So, and why is that? So again, I'm single. I live with my girlfriend and my dog. My bills are relatively low. 10% of the American population currently is on unemployment, and there's a lot of people that are in a bad way that have been missing out on their rent payments, have been missing out on their home payments, and if they don't get some sort of financial assistance, and have families, big families. Excuse me. All right. They have big families, and so if they're not able to get financial assistance, and they're on unemployment, they're not even getting, right now, maybe they're getting, best case scenario, 30% of what they would be getting from their full-time jobs. So there's a lot of families that are on the edge, and things aren't looking so great without stimulus help. So that's why I find it important. That's why I'm going to keep you guys updated with daily posts about political updates as well as stimulus package updates. All right, you guys. If you have any thoughts, feedbacks, comments, get down in the comment section below. Get at me, and we'll get back to it tomorrow. All right. I'm Jacob Lettman. Thanks for being here on the channel. We'll see you next time.